Bien, ya estamos de vuelta para nuestra presentación final del
We are
día.
back for a final presentation of today, and we're going to welcome
Para que profundice en la experiencia que ha tenido
Nhemias
el
Bastos
proyecto de
to
Vale
talk
respecto
to
al
us
caso de éxito
about
del
the
Centro
Vale
de Operaciones
project
Integrados. Ya lo tenemos
regarding an integrated
Nhemias,
operation
thank you for being
centers,
with us.
which was successful. Welcome, Nhemias.
I'm very pleased to be here with you today.
Well,
Es un placer.
you will have some 20 minutes for your presentation. Then we have some space for questions from our audience, okay?
Okay, I'm just ask you to switch to Portuguese, okay? And then we can
Sure.
have the questions in English.
Thank you, Nhemias. Welcome.
Ok. Bem, bom dia a todos. Nós vamos compartilhar hoje aqui um pouco da história da transformação de...
I'm going to share a bit about the transformation
como
of Vale
frente de trabalho de
with a great
tecnologia.
program that I was a part in the technologies.
Vou passar pequeno vídeo para introduzir o assunto. Esse
I'm
vídeo
going to
bastante
show you a
interessante que vai
video
contar pouco aí do princípio da nossa jornada.
to introduce you to the subject. We're going to see all the process of our transformation.
Until 2002, the global iron ore market was considered stable. But in 2003, the situation changed. The Asian market accelerated, especially in China, raising the iron ore price, making Vale expand its production in Brazil and across the world. Also investing in the extended supply chain in Asia, with the construction of the distribution center in Malaysia, for instance, designing its supply chain with several components. However, in 2015, the situation changed again. Iron ore supply now exceeded demand, and miners found it hard to sell their production. The market became more competitive. Prices and margins decreased. So, clients demanded better products at more competitive prices. Clearly, the model used until then was unsustainable. Mining companies, which were previously focused on increasing production volume, needed to change in order to meet this new market requirement. Vale needed a more flexible product portfolio, better sales price realization, focus on product quality management, improvement on sales planning process and operations, and vessels distribution optimization. To respond to these new market conditions, Vale created its Integrated Operations Center that synchronizes and optimizes our entire iron ore chain, allowing better decisions to maximize our business results. It also combines people skills, operational processes, and technology to offer high levels of collaboration and excellence.
Ok. Então, como foi visto no vídeo, né, na última década nós tivemos aí grandes mudanças no cenário mundial do mercado de minério de ferro, e isso fez com que as companhias tivessem que rever todas as suas estratégias.
Now we have the demand of iron ore.
Em 2016, a Vale começou a traçar
This changed between 2015 and 2016, and Vale responded to these market conditions. These graphs show the situation shown in the video. In the first graph,
preço da tonelada do minério de ferro ao longo
we have
dos anos, então
the variation of the price
ele vinha numa
of the
constante.
ton of iron ore, and we
2015,
saw that there was a constant expansion in the price beginning in 2015,
após essa queda,
and as we showed in the video, there was a fall, and then, given several factors, financial crisis, etc., we had some oscillations in the value or price, but even then, we couldn't recover the previous levels. So, as a response to this, Vale generated a change, and the second graph shows the different indexes of the products with higher quality than the previous one. And you see the oscillation of the quality delivered to the customer, and a variation in discounts applied in materials that have a lower quality. So we saw the different oscillations, and this translated in what happened in the market regarding competitiveness and demand for higher quality material. So in Vale, we had a strategy for the products that strengthened the strategy given the scenario, and also it was necessary to find a way to synchronize, which is the key word, and in our integrated
nossos
operations
volumes
center in
de
Vale because we have a very complex operation. Our volumes of iron ore were increasing,
busca por
and this
qualidade.
was in the first
Só
try
que ao mesmo tempo eu não
to
poderia deixar
provide this demand of the market. But at the same time,
em
I
termos-
needed to see all the productive process. We were
Estamos
talking about
falando de 13 usinas de
22 mines, open pit mines. So we're
rodovias,
talking
uma
about
hidrovia,
13
4 portos de embarque de
pelletization plants. We have
produtos hoje,
4 railways. We have one
abordagem
waterway,
desse minério
and
e
we
entrega.
have 4 shipping ports and
Cadeia bastante
18
complexa,
facilities to blend
precisam ser
ore. So we
redesenhados
have
seus
quite a
processos,
complex chain,
seus
production
objetivos.
chain, because we need several processes to reach the required objective. So mid-2016, we began with a plan, and this idea was
Fizemos a primeira
finalized at the end of 2017
e desde então nós
when we opened our integrated operating
tornou-se uma
center.
alavanca de valor
And since then, that decision created
negócios da Vale.
a
Então, como já foi
leveraging
no
of the
anterior, o
business
Centro de
value
Operações
of Vale. So as we saw before, these
sincronizar e
IOC,
otimizar
integrated operation centers, synchronizes and
informações
optimizes the
real-time,
value chain of the
confiáveis,
iron ore,
para que as decisões
and we have reliable information, precise information, and the decision-making process is a lot more reliable
final.
and maximizes also
Começamos a traçar o
the profit
desenho
margin in the sales of minerals. So when we began with the process design, the strategy design, we found many opportunities to improve the sales,
ser
the
mais
process
integrado, poderia envolver
planning,
produtivas, possibilitar o
which could be integrated better to the productive
tomada
units,
pela mina
and
não gere
also the synchronization so that the decision of the mine do not cause a problem on the port.
parte de alocação de
So the
navios,
decisions are made together.
de frete e a melhoria de utilização
Everything that has to do with the moving of the ships, the distribution, and also an improvement of the assets from beginning to end. Here we have another video that provides some more detail beginning on 2016. I'm going to share it with you. There are very interesting
Então, algumas
figures that
iniciativas que
already
vão-
reached. This is a 2019 video with some initiatives that would be future, but were already implemented. I am also going to give you further details later.
The integration of the iron ore chain is one of Vale's
La
greatest strategic
integración
levers in generating value and increasing the profit margin of the
genera
business.
valor en
The project is divided into 3 phases: the Global Integrated Operations Center, Local Integrated Operations Centers, and the Center of Excellence. The first phase, the Global Integrated Operations Center, inaugurated in September of this year, connects the iron ore to a single vision. The Global Integrated Operations Center is responsible for the short and medium-term planning of the entire chain. Decisions such as the best product mix for the market, shipment schedules, vessel allocation, and blending planning are done with a global vision to optimize results and minimize deviations. The new way of working makes the decision-making process more agile and allows for the optimization of business result by increasing chain efficiency, reducing costs, and maximizing price realization. An integrated and collaborative team from around the world works together with cutting-edge technology and new management systems. The control and consolidation of data happens in real time, ensuring the effective monitoring of each process step. Vessels, for example, are dynamically monitored and allocated to optimize fleet productivity, which constantly reduces our distribution costs. By 2019, the integrated centers of the local production systems, the second phase of the project, will be implemented. These centers will program and control the production systems from mine to port in real time. The integrated control of these local production systems, with a focus on programming, will guarantee the stable performance of the production system and the adherent and efficient execution of the production program. The optimization of the supply chain also considers the performance of the Center of Excellence, the third phase of the project, which will allocate our best specialists to to the critical processes and assets of the iron ore production systems, which will ultimately improve the reliability and productivity of critical assets. Since the beginning of the project, the Global Integrated Operations Center has already demonstrated its potential to transform the iron ore supply chain with some significant results, such as the margin optimization of $400 million in 2017. It is a beautiful example of a cultural change at Vale, and we are well on the way to being an increasingly competitive and constantly evolving company.
Ok, então como nós podemos observar nesse vídeo, né, o nosso centro de operações integradas,
How we could observe in
importante
the
de ser
operating
entendida,
centers, in the integrated operating center,
Vale não é uma nova
it is
gerência,
important to mention that we have a
nem
new
processo
management, a
completamente
new
novo.
stage, new directors in Vale with a process which is to work. So
Estudados,
all the processes were cataloged,
maior
studied,
colaboração,
and
maior sincronia.
points were searched to allow a better synchronization and collaboration and chaining of the processes so that everybody had
O nosso
a
centro de
common
operações,
result. So
ele foi
our
inicialmente
integrated
desenhado,
operations center
né, responsável pelo
and
nosso
our processes has 3 layers.
a partir dessa camada
Fleet
global,
control, etc., which mean the operation of the mine until the
North,
port. Brazil,
né, e
North, overarching area, which is the Excellence Center, which is a group of engineers who are specialized and
provas de conceito,
have the
buscando
processes with improvements for the assets, concept
prospecção,
tests,
né,
market opportunities, and it
necessariamente
is the
voltadas para a
first
área de
area of prospection, not necessarily aimed at the process area, but also
seja em
to
processos,
engineering, and everything they do can be translated in practical actions, technology, practical solutions. Once this center of integrated operations was installed, the challenge
algumas
seemed
peças. Nós entendemos que ao longo desses 5 anos, né, quase 5
include,
anos que nós estamos trabalhando, nós percebemos que existem 5 fatores
we defined 5 areas of work. We found that there were 5 main factors that made us reach the results expected, all beginning with
Então, é o
the
inconformismo,
focus on value generation.
as coisas são feitas
So,
historicamente da forma que são,
question-
como pode ser diferente, como eu posso trazer maior
So
agilidade,
how can we do things differently? How can we generate
como eu posso
an
tornar
improvement
essa
in this, considering safety factors, occupational health,
gerando resultado
occupational
possível
and
que foi planejado, né?
generating results
Rapidamente, nós
which,
tivemos esforço aí bastante grande de
actually match what we planned. So we noticed
mudança de
that
processo. A gente encontra uma barreira grande de
it was
resistência,
intense in change management, for example. So we found a lot of resistance. There are some areas which are a bit easier to change also, but there was also a lot of very strong participation of the leaders,
prazos e serem
so
nossos
with finding benefits
ter uma conceituação
in
muito clara
terms,
do
for
que é esse
example, in the
valor.
business case also,
Esse entendimento de mercado, esse entendimento de como o
a
cenário
search
era
for the
10, 15 anos
value
atrás.
in Vale. So that how this scenario was a few years ago. We had to understand the value, so we needed several stages to understand the concept, leaving very clearly which were the principles that were going to guide us, what is worth it, what can be changed, and what is going to be maintained. My area of specialization, we had to use technology as soon as possible, because this integrated control center or operations centers is not just a group of people who generate the demand, but we have always used technology. So we created a co-leadership from the beginning of the idea, and it was vital for us to understand, when we were evaluating the degree of maturity. This was, of course, one of the items, and also the change management, which is very important as a pillar, because regardless of the change of the systems or the specific use, the change management in the integrated operation centers was fundamental, not only as implementing new processes and technologies, but also in monitoring these applications, how they were perceived, how mature the process was. Yes, we had a change management process which was quite intense to be able to gather all the information and calibrate everything while we were following our strategy and the decisions that were being made. So this digital transformation had several areas. First, in the processes, because we can't change significantly without discipline in the processes. Also, the use of best practices and governance without redundancies, consistent, that everybody knows how to act, and an escalation in the decision-making process, so problems are solved and we don't have outages. Also, information, which is very important, the information, not only those sent formally, but also everything that comes from the learning, from machinery, from softwares, how to turn the analyst function to become more analytic, that this person has the adequate information to operate the tools. And this new scenario showed that the use of the tools needed a lot of effort to have a collaboration or a collocation, to have teamwork, and to have a base work which is quite intense on the workers so they can become more productive. And also, we here have finally sharing the same space by several specialists. So what we did was to place key people who understand the processes in the same place. And after this, we noticed of the great benefit of collaboration in agility speed. It is a new way of working that needs to come from a collaboration and change the behavior of people who have worked for a long time. They have been working the same way for a long time, but we need them to see things differently so we get results. So that's the role of technology. Is fundamental for the change. We identified 5 main groups of systems for technological solutions, which allow us to have a new integrated operations centers in this model. We have a great area of solutions that provide us visibility and information panels, dashboards, reports that allow us to make decisions in real time, but also view all the supply chain, how the mine operates, when to produce more, the different stages or phases of the mine and how to bring information, which is not out of phase. So we have planning and the chain. We have physical, geological data. I need to understand what's my capacity in shipping, transportation. We need integration, simulations as well, and also optimizers to make decisions. We eliminated the physical work to be able to analyze and verify the feasibility, also the forecast and the traceability. If the quality is an important variable, how can I predict the use of technology to improve the quality of the ore, to be able to track also the best areas and also have the market intelligence? More than an open channel of communication with the consumer, I need to see properly what's happening. I need to facilitate the ingress of data and also the solution of problems that the customer has. So we are talking about digitizing this relationship to have more, a nimbler relationship to react as fast as possible. Here we had the participation of Siemens, a great associate of ours, and we also have with us for a long time, and Siemens was in charge of the development of mining. We also have the GPB mining system, which controls all the operations in the iron ore mines. We've been using it for 10 years and is the backbone of the operation. Also, in the context of this integrated operations center, Siemens provided us the tactical desk, which we can view in real time the situation of the value chain and of the product, how the equipment in the mine are doing, the flows, the silos, the plant, also the fleet availability to serve the customer. So there is a great interface that allows us to make decisions, and the management system of events, which captures all the events that can create problems and help us stick to the planning, and we can act quicker without losing time. So we have also a part
estabelece uma correlação do ROM, do material bruto que eu estou entrando na usina, com o nosso modelo de blocos geológicos, né? Então eu consigo associar automaticamente, integrar essas informações para que a usina já tenha uma previsibilidade de qual produto vai ser produzido a partir daquele ROM. Então, uma parceria de sucesso que, com certeza, temos muito mais oportunidades, né? Temos um portfólio de soluções muito grande para ser
successful association due to the portfolio of solutions that Siemens offers to be able to finalize and leave clearly. Here we have an analogy, because a lot of people see this, and Vale is that areas work by themselves and synchronized. So before the operations center, integrated operations centers, our operation worked on a first arrived, first served. They like to break records. So we were transforming. So we needed to transform into a regularity context to reach the goals established in the times that correspond. So now we have adherence. We can't produce an excellent product if there is no demand for it. So we can't deliver a product that the market demands. If not, we're going to have losses. So the great change that we had was to teach our teams
Então, esse gráfico,
we need to sometimes remove the foot from the accelerator. We can't be accelerating constantly. So here we see some things that we have reached since 2017 when we implemented different systems. We had significant profit in 2 years. We reached $400 million on 2017 and 2018. And when we established the corridors in 2019, we had more profit, and this profit continues to expand while we reached the processes. And in 2021, we expanded the program of the Center of Operations. And we are seeing not only our productive chain, but also the interface areas, which are key. And there, we see the planning, and we will reorganize all the geological planning and geoscience planning of the mine, and also the management, the risks and opportunities, and also an asset management which favors adherence to the planning, which has to do with centralization and the Center for Integrated Operations in Asia. How can I improve the transportation, the blend of the products, the integration with the customers, which integrates to the supply of the customer, and also the integration of the control rooms. A very important step that we're taking this year to centralize the corridors in a single place in Brazil. We have the different corridors in Brazil, but the idea that we have is to join all the layers of the operation centers in a single place in Minas Gerais in Brazil, and then this collaboration, this synergy that we have observed, the idea is to use it to improve. We recovered $1.2 million, which is quite significant, and strengthens the expansion of our program, and also the prioritization and the search for new avenues and new projects. Very well, I tried to maintain myself within the 20 minutes. This was my presentation, and now I will move to questions and responses.
First one is from Iván Estrada. He writes from Minera Peñoles de Mexico. In operational areas, would it be possible to develop a computerized program to avoid rock falls, which is one of the main causes of accidents? That's the question from Iván.
Could you repeat, please, just the end of the question, Roland?
Yeah, it says, in operational areas, would it be possible to develop a computerized program to avoid rock falls, which is one of the main causes of accidents?
Okay. In parallel of this program, we have another huge program in Vale today. It's the geotechnics program, and they are changing and improving all these questions regarding accidents and regarding these problems you talked about, and they are very close to us. So every time we prioritize a project, every time we prioritize an initiative inside the operations, Integrated Operations Center, we are very aligned with this geotechnics program, because they are prioritizing initiatives regarding health and safety and accident preventions and so on. So these are local programs we have inside the operations, but they are strongly connected to us, because every decision we make in our program should be aligned with the decisions they make there. Okay? I don't know if it's okay, the answer.
Okay, thank you, Nhemias. Next question is, as it goes, what quantification do they have of the savings generated by the use of IOC, increased productivity and increased security?
Yeah. We have historical data about what the operation was before operating the Integrated Operations Center, and how this price realization goes now. So when we compare those two things, We have a economical management area that's always monitoring every saving and every discount we have. And when they put into the spreadsheet and compare with the past years, we can see the result of this collaboration, the result of this optimization, and the interfaces we have now between the areas. So now we are prioritizing the margin, the value, but it comes below the bar of health and safety. So we have much more actions today regarding health and safety. And then comes the Integrated Operations Center. So we are prioritizing much more projects, even inside the Operations Integrated Center, regarding health and safety and accident prevention, as I said. It comes in the first place, and then we come with margin, with financial benefits, and so on.
Okay, Nhemias, another question. Who is the type of professional that is using the integrated operations system?
Okay, it's an integrated operating center. So we have specialists of planning areas, we have engineers, we have people from the operation site that use it to be there, for example, inspecting the quality of the material. And we have the main profile of profession we have today inside the Integrated Operations Center is that profession that knows all the process and the professional that has some real on-site experience. So we have promoted, if I can say this, the better professionals, the people that has long experience and they have worked and made job rotation without many areas, and they came. So we have the best specialists of railroads, the best specialists of ports and of expedition, mining, and the other plants we have, pelletizing and so on. So these people are always discussing. So every time and every month, for example, we have the monthly program. We have 1 week of hard work of these people when they have all the assumptions and all the operational variables. And we have a system and they have to calibrate the system to generate a plan. And in that time, the knowledge they have is the most important asset we have because they know what runs and what doesn't run. So, for example, in our tragedy of Brumadinho, the role of the Integrated Operations Center was crucial for Vale keep the operations running and fulfilling the clients. Because if we didn't have a centralized group of people thinking together to react and to make the necessary directions to keep the company running, maybe we could not operate in such a good manner as we did that time. So it was the first bulletproof of the integrated center, the operation center, because we could keep everything running just because we have this huge collaboration of all teams, and the decisions was made in a very quick way, and we could react and we could improve and we could solve some deviations as fast as we could because we work together and we have the appropriate systems to do so.
Nhemias, the last question. Considering the production chain of Vale in terms of transport, port, production, on what phase on this chain do you consider the integration has a bigger impact?
Okay. The bigger impact was in the fleet allocation, vessels fleet allocation, and the quality improvement of the product we put inside those vessels. So we have today a low quantity of variation of the quality we plan and the quality we deliver of our product. So the main gains and the main benefits of such integration came from the right allocation of the right vessel at the same time. So we could narrow the relationship with the vessel's owners, for example, to have a predictability of allocation of such vessels. And the strategy of blending the products in Asia, for example, in Malaysia, was a very important decision to have the right product being delivered to the ports in China, for example. So we have a stockpile on Malaysia where we can blend those products. And when we have the right allocation of fleets, we could have some savings. And when we improve the quality of the iron ore that we embark to those clients, we maximize the chance to have bonus and benefits and not discounts. So I put these three. I put the fleet allocation, I put the blending strategy, and the quality improvement of the product.
Bien, Nhemias, thank you very much for your time, for being with us here in Siemens Minerals Week 2021. Muchas gracias.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bien, así estamos cerrando esta segunda jornada de Siemens
Very well,
Minerals.
we're now closing the second day of Siemens Mineral Week. Thank you all for being with us. And of course, the material will be available in our website. As we already told you, mineralsweek.cl, that's where you will have the presentations available of all the speakers that have taken part today. We also thank you for your patience and the waiting due to technical problems we had. So we thank everybody for waiting. On Thursday, we will have the third session of Siemens Minerals Week. We hope to have you present here this Thursday, beginning on 9 a.m. Thank you very much. Have a nice